Navigate conflict with intuition. Stay tuned because today you will discover the power of empathic engagement and strategies for enhancing intuitive listening. Hi there, I'm Dr. Krista Burns, Director of Programming for the Tampa Bay Women's Professional Network. Welcome to the Empowerment Blueprint, a virtual summit for women in business, providing you with implementable strategies to take your career to the next level. I'm honored to introduce our next guest speaker. Alicia Farricielli, with her 20-year multifaceted career in marketing, public relations, and entrepreneurship, now shines as a certified life and health coach, specializing in intuitive healing and personal empowerment. Through her own experiences of overcoming adversity and mastering life's complexities, Alicia brings empathy and profound insight to her coaching, aiding individuals in their quest for self-discovery and freedom from insecurity, anxiety, and burnout. Alicia is also the host of the Intuitive Revolution podcast. Today, she'll be sharing with us the art of intuitive communication in business relationships. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today as a presenter on the Empowerment Blueprint, a virtual summit for women in business. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here to share this information with you guys. It's going to be a game changer in your business if you follow these exact steps on it. So awesome. So again, we are going to talk about the art of intuitive communication in business relationships. This is a really, really important way to start to think about your audience, your relationships with your coworkers, to your employees, everyone that you come in contact. You can also use this information in a personal relationships as well. All right. So let's talk about what intuitive communication. So today we're going to go about talking about the importance of intuition in business. We're going to go beyond data. We're going to talk about embracing the human element in business decisions, a business as relationships, not just transactions. We're going to focus on intuitive communication, talk about navigating unspoken dynamics and negotiations in leadership, how you enhance understanding and empathy in professional relationships. So, intuition and decision-making. A couple things is it's quick, it's instinctive understanding without needing conscious reasoning. It's valuable in fast-paced or information-sparse situations. You can build relationships through your intuition. You create a deeper sense of needs and concerns of colleagues and clients and personal relationships if this is what you're looking for. You can strengthen trust and rapport in business environments. In today's goals, I want to talk about understanding intuitive communication, what it is and why it matters. We're going to talk about harnessing your intuition, practical ways to enhance and apply intuition in business settings, and then transforming intuition into a business tool, moving from concept to practice. So I'm going to give you some everyday applications to go with this. But first, I like to start this with doing an intuitive meditation to really quiet our minds. So what we'll do is go ahead and find a seated, comfortable position. And if it feels right, go ahead and gently close your eyes or just soften your gaze downward. Let's take this moment together to quiet our minds and tune into our intuitive selves. Start by taking a deep breath in and then slowly fill your lungs with air. Feeling the air moving through your nostrils, filling you with calm. And as you breathe in, hold it at the moment at the top. And then now gently exhale, releasing all of the air inside your lungs, along with any tension or any distractions that you may be carrying throughout your day. Now again, we're going to breathe in deeply, breathe in through your belly, fill up your chest with possibility. Now hold. Now slowly exhale, letting go of any doubts. I'm going to let go of any need for control. Then as you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, bring your attention to the center of your forehead. This is the space just between your above and between your eyebrows. This is your third eye. This is the seat of your intuition. Now imagine a soft, warm light. It's glowing at this point. It's radiating wisdom and it's radiating insight. And with each breath, allow this light to grow brighter and warmer. It's expanding to fill your whole mind with clarity and with calm. Now trust in any intuitive insights that come to you without judgment or without the need to analyze them. Just be present with them. Now take in one more deep breath. And as you exhale, gently bring your awareness back to the room. Start wiggling your fingers, wiggle your toes. And then when you're ready, open your eyes or just lift your gaze. So I hope this gets you a little more in tune with your intuition and brings you into more awareness for this presentation. So now we're going to talk about intuition versus rational thought. These are two different things, but they're going to coincide together. We're going to talk about how to understand different approaches to these decision-making. We're going to explore how both intuition and rational thought contribute to business success. And then the importance of balancing both of these for optimal decision-making. So we don't necessarily have to choose one or the other. We actually need to use both of these, and then we need to balance those. So what is intuitive thinking? Intuitive thinking is characterized by fast, it's automatic, it's driven by experiences, it's driven by your gut feelings. Some examples, a hiring manager might feel immediately that a candidate is the right fit for the company culture during an interview, despite the candidate's resume not perfectly matching the job requirements. This decision is based on a subconscious read of the candidate's potential cultural fit and then less on the explicit qualifications, less of the data. During a crisis, leaders might often have swift decisions with limited information. An experienced manager might instinctively decide the best course of action to mitigate the impact of the crisis, relying on their internals as experiences from past emergencies rather than thorough analysis of current situations. So really leaning into their gut versus their thought process, their data process. Some advantages of intuitive thinking is quick decision-making in complex situations, especially if you don't have time to really go through all the details, really, what was your gut telling you? Also the ability to sense some non-obvious opportunities and threats that if you rely on just data-driven information, that you're not going to get these cues from other people. Let's talk about rational thinking. So some characteristics of rational thinking is slow, it's deliberate, it's based on analysis and logical thinking. It's using more of your left brain versus your right brain. Advantages, so well-informed decisions through thorough analysis, which we all definitely need that in decision-making. And it reduces biases by relying on data and evidence. It can also may come across better to coworkers or to your clients or whoever you're working with if you have a little data, some more rational thinking besides just saying, well, this just feels right. A lot of people won't really trust that if they don't trust you to begin with. Limitations of rational thought, again, time-consuming process. It can take some time to really get to the data to discover what the best process forward is. And again, it potentially overlooks human elements and soft signals. So what we really want to do is balance intuition and rationality in business. So leveraging those diverse strengths, your intuition provides quick experimental responses. It allows for rapid decision-making. Or again, your rational thought offers methodical and detailed analysis, ensuring these decisions are well-grounded and thoroughly considered. If you balance the two, you're going to enhance your decision quality. You're going to combine your gut instincts with analytical data, leading to more informed and holistic decisions. You're reducing the likelihood of over-reliance on one method, which can lead to biases or oversights. You're going to increase your adaptability. You're balancing both approaches allows individuals and organizations to be flexible in changing circumstances. It facilitates better navigation through complex and uncertain environments by drawing both instinct and analysis. It encourages innovation. Intuitive insight often leads to creative solutions that rational processes just might overlook. Your rational analysis can refine and implement that intuitive idea effectively, turning your novel insights into viable solutions. So as you can see, you really want to use both of these. It's going to build your confidence in decision-making. If you integrate your intuition with rational analysis, you can build greater confidence in the decision made as each approach validates each other. It provides a more comprehensive view, making stakeholders feel more secure with the outcomes, kind of what we spoke about before. Your colleagues, your employees, your clients are going to feel more secure if you have both of these together. You're going to optimize resource utilization. So intuition can save time and resources when quick decisions are needed and can prevent being paralyzed by analysts. Rational thinking ensures that resources are allocated efficiently and risks are minimized through careful planning analysis. So let's take this time and reflect on a recent decision you made at work. Was it more intuitive or was it more rational? What influenced your decision-making style? Was it other people? Was it a quick decision you need to make? Was it your gut, the way that you felt? And then how did the outcome compare to your expectations? And if we want to take this a little further, what if you added a little more analytical aspect to it? Or what if you added a little more intuitive aspect to it? What could the outcome have been different? So next, the role of intuition and team collaboration. So some benefits of intuitive communication in teams. You're going to foster a deeper understanding among your team members. You're going to enhance your nonverbal communication. You're going to be able to pick up on the cues that those words just cannot capture. A lot of times when we look at words, instead of looking at the way that they're said, looking at the way people are speaking to you, we're not picking up on those cues which are intuitive. If we're just relying on the analytic data, then we're not going to pick up on those, because people can, unfortunately, they can say things they don't mean, especially if they're not in a comfortable situation. Examples: a team leader intuitively senses tension during a meeting and addresses it before it escalates. Or you have a project manager who instinctively allocates resources based on a gut feeling about a team member's current overload and stress level. So how many times have we been in a team environment where you have really stressful things going on, but you're like, well, this person's really, really good at this project, they should stick with that. But if you use your intuition, you may get a better outcome if you move that person, even if they're having a hard time, moving them to something differently, just by using your intuition. So intuition and conflict resolution. We're going to talk about how intuition helps resolve conflicts. So intuitive insights can anticipate conflicts before they even surface. It's going to enable more empathetic and tailored responses to personal and professional disputes. Another example: a manager noticed some subtle nonverbal cues during a meeting, like avoidance of eye contact, terse replies, a general air of just discomfort around each other. So intuitively, the manager might feel like a neutral, informal setting might encourage more open communication and faster resolution. We're going to talk a little bit more about why you should have more open communication to get your team members, your staff to tap more into their intuition. So if you want to develop intuitive skills in teams, the strategies for enhancing team intuition is you're going to encourage open, spontaneous communication to foster an intuitive understanding among team members. Regularly engage them in team activities that build trust and nonverbal communication skills. This is super, super important if you want your team to start learning how to tap into their intuition. Some benefits is going to create a more cohesive and adaptive team environment. And then teams that communicate intuitively are often quicker to innovate and overcome challenges. They can have those better conversations instead of just relying on the data here. If we start relying on the way that we feel, how a certain situation makes us feel and kind of what we feel like is the right solution, we're going to get to that solution much quicker. So if you want your team to understand intuitive listening, well, first we're going to talk about what is intuitive listening. It's actually listening beyond words to understand deeper meanings and emotions. It's not just focusing on what is said, but how it's said and what is not said. Again, I'll say that again. It's how it's said, and then again, what is not said. That's a very key component to it. Techniques for intuitive listening: active listening. Encourage your speakers and your clients and your team by nodding and using short verbal affirmations, such as yes, or just simply nodding your head or shaking your head if you don't understand. Reflecting and paraphrasing to ensure understanding and convey empathy. So when someone's speaking something, you want to paraphrase them to make sure that you're understanding what they're saying and letting them know that you are listening. The power of empathetic engagement. So what is empathetic engagement? It's engaging with others by understanding and reflecting their feelings and thoughts. It's building a connection that fosters open communication and trust. Trust and open communication is vital in any type of team environment, any type of business relationship at all. Practices for empathetic engagement. You want to use empathetic statements to show understanding, like, it sounds like you feel, instead of just going like, coming into you and saying, well, you said this. You want to push it more like, to me, it sounds like you feel this way. You're going to practice being present. Give your undivided attention during conversations. That means getting off your phone. If you're taking notes, take notes, but really being present into that conversation and asking questions if you don't understand. Daily practices to develop intuition. So if you want to start developing your own intuition, here are some simple practices. Let's start mindful meditation. You want to spend 5 to 10 minutes daily to clear your mind and enhance focus. If you are very averse to a meditation, just sit and listen to some music, or you can go into journaling, writing down anything that intuitively hits and review for patterns and accuracy. It's almost as you're collecting data for your intuition. And then you can go back and see where you were spot on and where you really, that probably wasn't your intuition. It was more a fear-based driven decision. Encouraging intuitive moments. So set aside time for quiet reflection, or you can simply go for a solitary walk to allow space for intuitive thoughts. You really want to get inside your head more, but connecting that to how are you feeling, what's really going on inside of you. You want to engage in regular creative activities such as painting or writing to stimulate intuitive insights. You really want to get which is your sacral or your feminine flow going. Painting, writing, there are two great aspects. Dancing, singing, anything that brings beauty and creativity, that's going to help develop your intuition. So integrating intuition into daily business practices. Making intuition a business habit. So start meetings with a moment of silence to center thoughts and enhance focus. Sometimes you can add in just some very quiet and calming music for a couple of minutes, as maybe if you're having a meeting as clients come in, have some calming music going on. Encourage team members to share intuitive insights during brainstorming sessions. So you want to encourage the conversations. You want to create a safe space for team members to be able to share those without any type of judgments and distractions. And creating an intuitive workspace. So you can design workspaces that allow for both collaboration and then private reflective spaces. You can have a private room for people. I've seen co-working spaces where they walk in, they have a meditation room, or they have just where they can have private conversations, where people can just sit back and relax and take 5 minutes to themselves. This is going to promote a culture that values and respects intuitive contributions along analytical ones. So we don't want to just say, where's the data? You can be like, how did you get to this point? Or how did it make you feel? Or what were your thought process coming from this? And then sometimes they just say, well, I just feel like this is the right choice. Dig into that. That could be their intuition talking. So today, there's a lot of information here, but I want you to choose one practice. Select one intuitive practice you've learned today that resonates with you. And then, of course, we want to set a goal. Commit to integrating this practice into your daily routine for the next month, every single day. If it's journaling, if it's taking a reflective walk, if it's meditating, if it's just opening up the communications within your workforce, set that goal with that. And then you're going to reflect and adjust. So at the end of each week, reflect on how this practice has influenced your decision-making and interactions. And then you can adjust your approach as necessary to better suit your needs and context. Again, intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it's going to become. You're going to start small, but you need to start today. Your journey towards more intuitive and impactful communication begins with a single mindful step. Thank you guys for letting me present this information. If you want to contact me, here's my information. I do have the podcast, as mentioned before. The Intuitive Revolution podcast is on Spotify and Apple. Would love any followers, comments. If you have questions, definitely reach out and let me know.
Alicia, thank you so much for sharing this great information with us. We learned a lot from your presentation. I'm going to go through some notes and then a couple questions. So you talked about intuitive communication, the human element of business decisions, going beyond the data. And you talked about, we started with an intuitive meditation, which I could see my third eye and felt more intuitive instantly. I'm not sure how long we did it for, but probably just a couple minutes at the most.
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah. And just by taking that amount of time, you could feel yourself, if you did it with us, you could feel yourself becoming more intuitive instantly. Now, with intuition versus rational thought, it's balanced for optimal decision making. So intuitive thinking is fast, automatic, your gut feeling is driven by experience, and it also helps you recognize threats. It's rational is more slow, deliberate, kind of a left brain activity based on analysis, reduces bias due to data. Now, balancing between rational and intuitive enhances decision quality, increases adaptability, encourages innovation, helps build confidence, and optimizes resource utilization, which who doesn't want that in business, right?
Exactly.
Decision-making styles. So just think to yourself, like, what influenced a recent decision that you made? Was it intuitive or rational? Did you get the expected outcome? And how could that have changed if we were either more intuitive or more rational? And then when it comes to teams, it's to foster deeper understanding among team members by enhancing nonverbal communication and then picking up on those communication cues. With conflict resolution, it enables empathetic responses for personal and professional disputes. And to develop intuitive skills, encourage spontaneous communication, team activities that build trust, and nonverbal communication. I really like this with the spontaneous communication. I think it's easy in teams to, like you mentioned later, to feel judged by their responses. So they're not quick to respond. They may hold it in, worried that they may be judged by the team. So I really love this thought of spontaneous communication and encouraging that. Yeah. And then with intuitive listening, listening beyond words for a deeper meaning. So what is said and what is not said. And then, things like nodding your head, reflecting, and paraphrasing. And then empathetic engagement. So understanding and reflecting feelings and thoughts, saying things like, it sounds like you feel this way. And then demonstrating your empathy and being present with the person. And then daily practices to develop intuition, mindful meditations, about 5 to 10 minutes, journaling, encouraging intuitive moments such as quiet reflection, and intuition walks, engage in creative activities and feminine energy. And make intuition a business habit. So for example, starting meetings with a minute of silence or calming music and creating a safe place free of judgment to allow that spontaneous thinking. Intuitive workspaces, for example, a meditation room, allowing a moment alone to do reflection and thought, and take action by adopting one intuitive practice and implement for the next month, reflect and adjust your approach. And ultimately, intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it will become. Alicia, thank you so much. This was wonderful. I have a question for you. When communicating to others, if you want them to make an intuitive decision, so for example, if you're doing a sales presentation or you're doing a webinar and you want to tap into others' intuition so that there's a nice trust bond, what can you do to communicate so that they intuitively make decisions to, for example, take the next step with you in your business?
I think it's really, to me, it goes back to asking questions, the right questions to the client too. Because if you're asking, when you phrase a question, don't phrase it expecting with an answer, the right answer. Let them tap in. And a lot of it's nonverbal cues. It's, for instance, you have a seller, you're sitting there like, well, I don't know. There's something there. Or they say yes, but they're, slowly signing whatever that is. They're feeling the pressure. Their intuition's not connecting there. So as you know, you may end up with a client that is not as easy to deal with, or that's a little more, anxious. Of course, people have anxiety on that. So it's really just tapping into those cues. You can really tell people are comfortable saying that. It's building the rapport on it. And then listening to them and letting them say how they feel and digging into that instead of, you have like the car salesman that tries to argue with you. Why I want a pink car. I want a pink car because I'm intuitively, I own a pink car. No, you don't. You want this red car. This is why. I'm like, no, I want the pink car. Is a silly example there. So don't be the car salesman that does that.
Alicia, we'd like to thank you for your amazing presentation today. And as we wrap up another great session here on the Empowerment Blueprint, a virtual summit for women in business, we'd like to acknowledge Alicia for sharing her expertise. We'd also like to extend to you our gratitude for being a valued member of the Tampa Bay Women's Professional Network. Be sure to grab on-demand access to watch the summit masterclasses on your own time and for full implementation to truly take your career to the next level. Stay tuned and we'll see you on the next masterclass of the Empowerment Blueprint, a virtual summit for women in business.